from Las Vegas, Nevada, some studio so close, but so far away. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Brad Stein. Welcome to BettorCenter Live. You can watch us daily, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on LouisDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louis Diamond. We have 5 pro handicappers from all over the globe, from Arizona to Nevada to somewhere on the East Coast. Just to wrap it up, from yesterday to summarize what happened, 3 of our cappers came out winners. That's right. If you want to make some money, you want to win, this is the show to watch. Ross, Chip, and Tony, 2 of them, unfortunately, came out on the losing end. Sorry about that, Louis Diamond and Dell. Better luck next time. Today, we're going to have a little NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and Major League Baseball games to pick for you. Plus, later, our 6 handicappers will be giving you the most interesting play of the day. But let's introduce those 5 great cappers right now. Tony G.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's happening, Tony? Hey, Brad.
Did any of you guys predict the ending of that Toronto Raptors game yesterday, Boston Celtics? I know someone must have had it, right? Boston Celtics score with 0.5 seconds left, and then all of a sudden, with 0.5 seconds left, they need a 3-pointer to win the game, 2-pointer to go to overtime, and somehow they make the shot, throw it in from inbounds. Pretty crazy.
Well, that only happened, Brett, because all of us were leaning on the Boston Celtics yesterday. We cashed. We didn't. Nobody really went to town and played it hard, but it seemed like the lean was going that way, and it worked out for us. Hopefully, people took advantage of it.
But no one probably predicted the ending, right?
Man, I thought it was going to be a very close game. I thought it was going to come down to the buzzer, and it literally did come down to the buzzer. The last shot won the game.
Yeah, that was
crazy
unbelievable.
Finish. That was definitely a crazy finish. The pass was what made the play. The shot just went in. The pass
that's
to
what
the
I was
wide
just going to say.
guy was the play.
Absolutely. The pass is what did. The shot was great, but the pass was better. Right, Chip?
Well, I never saw it, so I couldn't tell you. I got the final score, and I was a winner, and that's all I needed.
All right, guys, let's start with game number 1. The Bucks -5 at the Heat, but it's in Orlando. 223.5 is the over-under. Let's start with Tony G. What are your thoughts on game number 1, Bucks Heat, NBA playoffs?
Man, this line is just tough. Same principles as yesterday. You basically want to think the higher seeded team down 2 games to none is going to find a way to win this game. However, 5.5 is just an ugly number. Me personally, I'm not going to bet this game. I just would lean to the favorite, but I just don't like it. I'm skipping this game. That's my best opinion.
All right, it's good opinion. It's fair. Del Warfield, I know you have some thoughts. You love basketball.
That I do. I love basketball and I love the Heat. But I'm not going to be betting them today either. So I hope they win. I hope they come out the East. I hope they take down the Bucks. But I'm not going to be able to lay any coin on it. What I do like is the over. It's sitting at 223.5, I believe, still. I think it's going to be a really good, high-paced, high-scoring game. I'm going to be personally putting my bet on the over for this game.
Chip Chirimbus, you're sitting so patiently. I know you have an opinion on this game.
Yeah, I certainly do. And I've had a great run with the Heat. They're 6-0 both straight up and against the points in the playoffs. We had them last time out, and we had them the next time out. This time, I'm reversing field here. I think the Bucks are going to finally show up. You know, if they don't show up here, I guess the Greek freak, Giannis, is exactly what they said. He's not a big game player. His outside shooting has been weak his entire career, and he can go to the basket. But now this is playoff time, and he just hasn't been delivering like he has in the past. I think the Bucks, who had the best record in the NBA, are going to come on strong. Giving 5.5 points to this Miami team on a neutral site, the way they've been playing, is a big number. And I think the odds maker is telling you it's time that Milwaukee comes to play. I've had the Heat all along, and I really like this team. I think they're well coached. We love Butler, but I am going to play the Milwaukee Bucks today over Boston, and I think it's a great play.
That Brad Stevens is some coach. Louis D., do you agree or disagree with Chip?
Well, I agree somewhat, but I got to say, I've been rooting for Milwaukee because I kind of thought that they might have been the favorite that shines through, but that clearly isn't the case. But I got to believe that being down 2-0, Giannis is going to have to step up, Mr. Defensive Player of the Year last year, and prove it this year once again. And this is do it. So, laying the 5. Milwaukee just gonna be lucky to get out of there with the win. But I guess I got to lean with the under, go against Dell. I got to believe the under is probably the play, and assuming that Giannis is the play.
All right, guys, before we move on to game number 2, does anyone else have any opinions on game number 1, Bucks Heat?
Yeah, I'd like to voice an opinion if I may.
I would love your opinion.
Thank you. I'm going to lean toward the over in this game. I just think Miami with a 2-0 lead is going to be a little laxer defensively in game 3. And I do agree with Chip that, the books are undeterred here with this line. I mean, if it looks too good to be true, most times it is in sports betting. But having said that, I'm going to lean. I just can't fade the Heat, how good they're playing right now, and I can't back a Bucks team that's looked average at best since they've gone under the bubble, if not below average. So I'm going to go over the total here, guys, over 223 in the Bucks Heat game.
Excellent. Game number 2, Rockets Lakers. Game number 1. It's our game number 2, but game number 1, Rockets or Lakers -6. It's a 225.5 point over under. Let's start with Chip. What are your thoughts on the second game of NBA playoffs?
Well, to tell you the truth, this Houston team has been a bit of an enigma. Harden had a horrible game shooting, and they still won their last time out, but they didn't cover that number. This is a tough call for me. I'm so enthralled with the Milwaukee Bucks over the Heat in Miami that I've actually passed on this game. I didn't put out a free play. I didn't put out a total. I didn't put an opinion at all because I put all my eggs in one basket, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks.
All his eggs in one basket. Del W, I see you shaking your head. Is that an agreement, or are you astonished at what the Chipster just said?
I'm astonished with Chipster. Put all those eggs in the bucket with the Bucks. I'm agreeing with them. Let it go. But as far as for this game, for the Rockets and Lakers, kind of the same thing. I'm on Chip's side too. I'm not taking this game. There's much more out there to take in, baseball and hockey and stuff. So skipping this one, just gonna enjoy it. Old Laker fan, so just kind of watch my team go and watch actual bets in the later games.
Louis Bag of Diamonds.
This game, I am going to lean towards studying for other games. I'm passing. Let's see what happens.
Tony G?
Yeah.
Can you bring anything to the table?
I'm tell you what, guys. I think for me, I'm just going to take the Lakers here in game 1. I think the Rockets' size is going to be detrimental to them in this series. I think when they fall behind in these games, the Rockets will show their true colors and give up. I've put the moniker of the Tin Man on the Houston Rockets for several seasons, because when the games get tough, they have no heart. I think after the tough series they just got through, they'll come in with no gas. The size of the Lakers take control of this game. They'll beat them down. It'll be a pretty easy Lakers win here in game 1.
Ooh. Anyone else have any opinions with the Lakers-Rockets? Lakers -6?
Yeah, I'd like to voice my opinion again, Brad.
Come on in.
The screen, right? Anyway, I'm going to take the Lakers here in game 1. Look, the Rockets are coming off a game 7 win with 1 day rest. And we saw how Denver reacted in that identical situation last night. Not very well. I agree with Tony that I think the size difference in this series will come into play. You might see the Lakers get off to a slower start in this game, but I think they'll prevail and be the better team in the second half and pull away because they've been on a long layoff. So I'm going to lean toward the Lakers here, -6 over Houston.
All right. Good call. Okay, let's move on to Major League Baseball. Game number 3, the Tigers and the Twins. Twins -170. It's a 7 over-under. Let's start with Louis Bag of Diamonds, Major League Baseball.
Well,
not passing
Lou
on this.
Diamond's definitely seeing a nice play on here. I definitely feel that we got a solid play with Minnesota. They definitely have owned this team, but what you really want to look for here, though, is Minnesota has been a dead under team this year, 11-25 to the under. So you want to, and 3-15 to the under at home. So it's easy to say Minnesota's a nice play when Minnesota is laying what they're laying today. And I really don't even think I have a fresh line. I had them at a pretty big favorite, but really the under is the play here. I am riding that twin train under, and hopefully it continues here today. We got a doubleheader. I think we might be able to cash 2 of them.
Tony G.
I tell you what, guys, I really don't like this game. Honestly, I did look at it earlier, but I really came up with nothing. So I'm just skipped over this game like a rock across the pond, man. No play.
Ross Benjamin, do you like this game?
Yeah, too heavy a number here for me. I think the Twins are the logical play here. 14-4 at home this year. They're coming off that series at Detroit recently where they got swept. So a little bit of turnaround there. They're certainly not going to take a Tigers team lightly that's 6-1 in their last 7. Dominic, good pitcher, off a tough outing. As a matter of fact, his last outing was at Detroit. Too much conflicting information for me. I'm going to stay off this game, Brad.
Chip, over under at 7, minus 170 Twins, anything?
Well, I really have nothing on this game. The Minnesota pitcher has been so outstanding that maybe the under is the way to go. And the lines maker seems to give us that kind of hint with the clue, with the total being so low. I just don't like laying big numbers. I didn't see this game. I have 3 baseball games out there today. This is not one of them. So just hang on, and we'll get to some winners as the show progresses.
Yeah. Del Warfield, someone's got to like this game. And it's got to be you, right?
Sorry, Brad. Not going to be me. I'm on the same boat. Not taking this game. But with those double headers, it's a little bit interesting betting the totals with those two since they only run 7 innings. So 7's kind of a high number for this game too. So I'm personally not touching it. There's way more games to play, so I'm staying away.
Yes, there are way more games to play. We'll go to game number 4. The Blue Jays minus 120 at the Red Sox. 8.5 is the over-under. Let's stay with you, Del. Do you like this game?
Same thing. Nope. Staying away too. Blue Jays, Red Sox, not touching it. Staying far away.
Chip, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are the Red Sox are one of the worst teams in baseball, and they had a 2-0 lead last night in the 8th and managed to blow. And I would want to take the Red Sox here, other than the fact that I think they stink, and I'm a Yankee fan, so boo on them. I have nothing with this game.
Some tough fighting words. Ross, I know you're a Yankees fan too.
Yes, I am. But you know what? This is game 1 of a doubleheader, right? So 8.5 is sort of a high total posted on this game for a 7-inning game, but rightfully so. I mean, you look at these 2 starting pitchers, Tanner Roark and Zach Godley, both have struggled mightily this year. The Red Sox bullpen is terrible. The wind's blowing out the right field at 9 to 10 miles an hour. The series has gone 5-1 to the under this year between these teams. I'm going to have a very, very small lean, Brad, here on going over the total of 8.5 in game 1 of the doubleheader, based on the fact these starting pitchers remain intact.
Okay, I like that. Tony G, agree, disagree? Or are you staying away from this game?
I tell you what, I actually gave out as a lower level play Toronto in this game. I just looking at the terrible, like everybody pointed out, these pitchers are horrible. I just think in a 7-inning sprint game that I think Toronto can get out. And I think their bullpen is definitely better than Boston. Boston is a terrible team. You look at this line, it seems a little low. It looks like a bargain. That's what makes me a little scared just to jump right on it. But I think at the end of the day, you'll be okay if you go small on Toronto here against Boston. Game 1, 7-inning sprint.
And that leaves Louis Diamond.
Hey, Brett, you know what? I'm looking at this game as a tough one to really pull a trigger on because obviously Toronto is the better team and more than likely the team you're looking to bet when you look at it. But the fact that they are 7-17 in Boston and 20-41 against the Red Sox, I know they're different teams, but you still get into a familiar zone once you start getting into that game again. And that's where I kind of believe in the trends. Do I think those trends make me want to bet Boston? No, but it makes me want to stay off of Toronto. The under has prevailed recently, 6 straight unders. So makes me worry about, playing that over with these bad pitchers, and they're making you pay the price. I think it's a tough game all the way around, and I'm going to have to pass all the way around on this one.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Coming up next, Tony C., the man on the street. He's in Dallas, Texas. Plus, the most interesting play of the day is all coming up here on BettorCenter Live. Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for BettorCenter Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. BettorCenter Live. Welcome back to BettorCenter Live. I'm Brad Stein. We can do this on LouisDiamond.com. Also, don't forget to check out YouTube at Louis Diamond. Let's go to Tony Cusumano, the man on the street. He's in Dallas covering some NHL playoffs. Tony C.
American Airlines Center, home of the Dallas Stars. And yes, we actually are getting 2 for the money tonight. You get 2 Game 7s, not 1, but 2. Let's cover Dallas, Colorado first. Dallas, Colorado. Colorado forces a Game 7, which is tonight. And the big story is the goaltending from Michael Hutchinson of Colorado. I would imagine that Anton Khudobin will be in the nets tonight for Dallas. Nothing has been listed yet. I really like the under in this, under 6 goals. Everyone watching on BettorCenter, for the simple reason is every ounce of real estate on this ice is just, you're going to see it poke check, forecheck. Anybody that can get their hands on that puck, it's just going to be a close, tooth and nail game here. By the way, up north at the border, I am in front of the Dallas Stars home rink, but we know because of COVID-19 that the game is in Edmonton. And also Game 2 tonight is the Las Vegas Knights versus Vancouver, which Vancouver forced the Game 7. And I'll tell you what, Thatcher Demko, the rookie goalie's come through for Vancouver to force that Game 7. He's been playing like he's been stopping everything, the old saying, and the kitchen sink that, Vegas has been throwing at him. So you've got some unexpected goaltending here from Michael Hutchinson, the third stringer at Colorado, and from Mr. Demko, Thatcher Demko, Vancouver. I'm going to stay away from the Vegas-Vancouver game. I would have to say that the momentum is rolling with both teams, though, that we're down 3-1. You've got momentum on the side of Vancouver down 3-1, obviously, with Colorado. You have momentum rolling into this game. They were also down 3-1. But I really am strong on the under 6 goals here with the Colorado Stars game. Again, Anton Khudobin, hell of a goaltender, and Michael Hutchinson has definitely picked up the slacks from the number 1 and 2 guys at Colorado. And just to update all the hockey fans, we also have a Game 7 tomorrow in Toronto, the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia won in double overtime last night to beat the Islanders and force a 7th game. Carter Hart was the big name there, another goaltender. So that's what NHL playoffs are all about, is hot goaltending. So with that, Brad, I'm going to not throw it back to you on this one. I'm going to bounce the puck in across the blue line to you and throw it back to you, or bounce it back to you in the studio, and see what everybody has to say about today's game, the rest of the crew. What does everyone have to say at BettorCenter about this game?
Thank you, Tony Cusumano. That's the man on the street. Let's go back to games. We are still in Major League Baseball. We will get to hockey in just a moment. Game number 5, the Yankees at Orioles. Let's start with the Diamonds of the Louis. Yankees, Orioles.
Yankees and Orioles. I'm going to make this short and sweet. The last 10 times that these teams have played, Yankees and over. If you parlayed it, you'd be winning big money. So, but Yankees and over, Yankees and over, Yankees and over. And now you got 2 games today. So all I can look at are Yankees and over. Back to you, Brad.
Why, thank you, Louis. So elegant. Tony Gullidge, I know you have an opinion on this game.
Ugh. Not
Maybe not.
particularly, but I kind of go with Lou here. The way the Yankees play them, it is a horse for the course. If you're going to play it, it'd be smart to play the Yankees here, but I wouldn't do it personally.
I smell a couple Yankee fans coming up. We'll start with Ross Benjamin. Big Yankee fan. Are you going to bet on the Yankees? You're going to take them?
You know what? I mean, the Yankees are 21-2 at Camden Yards since 2018. That's dominance. However, without Gleyber Torres, without Mike or Giancarlo Stanton, and without Aaron Judge in the lineup, this is a whole different Yankees team. Their bullpen has been very disappointing, especially over the last week. I'm just going to steer clear of this one, Brad.
Chip, I see you shaking your head. Do you have anything to add, or are you agreeing with Ross?
No, well, first off, these doubleheaders, which are only 7-inning games, I really have a lot of difficulty having confidence in who's going to start, which pitchers are going to start in which game, and what these numbers are. The Yankees, I don't know how we could play the over, Lou. I'll tell you why, because they have 4 guys in the lineup that are hitting under 213. I mean, their injuries have decimated this team. They have 3 guys that are under 200, including Gary Sanchez, who's at 131. And this is a decimated team. They still are power packed and can hit the ball out of the park. But these 7-inning games and not even knowing which pitchers are going to start in which game, I always take a pass on these doubleheaders. I just don't like them. I don't think you have an edge, and you can't. Some people like to wait until the second game and go make a decision then. I don't even want to get involved with that. I like to see my games from the start of the day, and I just have nothing here. And I could say go Yankees, but I think they're pretty decimated pretty badly.
Oh, Warfield. Help us out here, Warfield.
Yeah, so if the Yankee fans aren't even going to be betting it, I'm a Yankee hater. I'm definitely not going to be betting it in a way.
Okay, guys, game number 6, Marlins. 8 is the over-under at the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, minus 130. Chip, you buying? Selling?
I would take Miami here. I think Lopez is on the mound. I know Tampa is really tough, and usually they give the Yankees such a tough time, which they really have done. And then after that, they have a little letdown. So I maybe Tampa Bay would. This isn't a game that I'm looking to step out on by any measure, but I think Miami has a slight psychological edge from my viewpoint.
Okay,
Ross Benjamin. What can you bring to the table?
In this game. I like the under in this game. Pablo Lopez, as Chip alluded to, on the hill today for Miami. 6 starts this year with a 2.10 ERA. The kid's been impressive. Yeah. Josh Fleming, 2 starts this year. He's been impressive in those 2 outings. I see a lower scoring affair here. I agree with Chip to the point where Tampa Bay's coming off that series against the Yankees. Now they're taking on the Lowlands, or as they've been perceived, the lowly Marlins. They're much better this year. But having said all that, I can't fade a team that's 20-4 in their last 24 like Tampa Bay is. I'm going under the total here for my play.
Thank you. The Great White Capper.
I actually do have an opinion here. I think Ross alluded to the Tampa Bay 20-4 record, last 24 games. The value is definitely here on Tampa Bay, and I am recommending a play on Tampa Bay based on the value you get for a team that's really on a hot streak. And like I say, I like Lopez as a pitcher. I expect 2 maybe quality starts from both these guys, or be close to it. But at the end of the day, I think Tampa's going to pull out another win like they've been doing day after day after day. Why not just ride it another day? If they lose, reassess. But when a team is hot like this, it's like stepping in front of a bus and trying to stop it with an outstretched hand. You're going to get run over. Just either play with it, get on the bus, or get the hell out of the way. Don't try to fade hot teams. You won't make a living doing it.
Totally.
Louis D, are you getting on the bus? Or are you getting off the bus?
No, I'm on Tony's bus there. I'm not one to say, hey, they're not going to win today. They won 20 out of the last 24, and today's the day they're not going to win. I don't I'm not into that kind of handicapping. If you're playing the do theory, you're usually due to lose. If that's your only theory, I mean, there's sometimes it's obvious when you know this was the game and the stat means nothing. This isn't that game. You got a hot team in Tampa Bay. You got a good price with Tampa Bay, and you got them beating the Marlins 45 out of the last 67, and that's dominance again. So, and they're hot. Almost feels like it's too good of a price, but I don't want to pass it up. I believe Tampa's definitely a play today.
The hot devil race, Dell. Are you buying all this?
Yeah, that price being low is the only thing that's really pushing me away too. Seems a little bit trappy, so I'm staying away. Ross did bring up a good point on that under, though. Personally, actually convinced me to probably bet that one too. So I'm going to be actually riding with Ross on the under now. So back to you, Brad.
I'll just throw in. I think the reason the price is low on this game is because of the good pitching you've seen out of Lopez. I mean, it catches your eye when you watch him pitch. You know the kid's got the skill, but I think at the end of the day, this is one of those games where, based on what you see, you're going to get a good price with Tampa Bay. And just if you lose it, you lose it. But you've won so many, it's not going to hurt you at this point if you've been riding the hot streak with Tampa Bay. So nothing says to me, wow, I can't take Tampa today. I think it's a good play for everybody to take Tampa at a good price.
All right, Tony G, since you're hot there with a couple different ideas, let's go with game number 7, the Chicago White Sox minus 160 at the Royals. 9 is the over-under. What are your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts are I was going to just pass this straight to the next guy. I will take a look. I looked at this game, and I decided these prices, when they get up over 150, which is 60%, that's the way my mind works. I see 150 as 60%. Once you get above 60% as a break-even rate on these bets, it starts getting difficult for me to take. This is one of those situations where the logical play is the White Sox, but I don't think I'm going to make money betting these kind of plays over and over again. I'm going to pass on this play specifically, but perhaps the White Sox in a parlay for somebody who just has to play the game. I think the White Sox is the side to play.
Ross B, anything interesting?
Yeah, I agree with Tony. I mean, I'm one of those guys. I don't like playing the 151 or greater favorites, and this qualifies as such. But again, I can't fade the White Sox either. I mean, you're talking about a team that's 6-1 against Kansas City this year. Also, they're coming off that 11-6 win yesterday. They've been very good in this situation this year, Brad. 11-1 this year when coming off a win of 4 runs or more. I just think these two teams are on the polar opposite sides of the spectrum when it comes to hitting. But again, with that heavy a price, I'm going to lay off this game.
Chip, are you laying off or are you buying in?
No, I wouldn't play this game at all, but I would like to say that the White Sox are a contender. They've shored up their pitching, and they have some power pack lineup that somehow they've snuck up on the rest of the league. And I think the White Sox are someone we're going to have to deal with before it's all over. But right now, I'm not like Ross and Tony. I'm not looking to lay $1.50 or $1.60 on the team. But the White Sox, I love their lineup, and their shortstop is led the. People don't even know they had a guy that led the American League last year. Didn't in the game this year. So
Tim
Chicago
Anderson,
White Sox to me are. Yeah, Tim Anderson. And I can see this team playing into the playoffs, but I'm not going to take them today.
Dell, come on. You're going to take them, aren't you?
Well, I absolutely love this game, and I love it so much. It's actually going to be my most interesting play of the day today. So stay tuned for later. I'll give that one to you guys.
All right, that leaves us with the Diamonds of the Louis.
Damn, Dell, I wanted to get that one before the end of the show. You're killing me here. So I agree with the White Sox as the play here today, dominating. I think it's a great play, but I don't want to bet them straight up. I do have them tied in to a parlay today, which will be my most interesting play of the day. So stay tuned. We'll get the rest of that parlay in a minute.
How about right now? Right now? We're going to do the most interesting play of the day, and we'll go right back to you, Louis Diamond.
All right. Okay. All Well, there you go. You ask and I shall deliver. I got a 3-team parlay, the most interesting today. So it's time to get you informed. We're going to use the Chicago White Sox, and I'm going to tie them in with the LA Dodgers. Now, listen, I know Dodgers. I bet the Dodgers, they're the big favorites. But Dodgers absolutely own these Rockies, 43-14, the last 57 in LA. So, and now we got May on the mound. I don't think he is going to be anything that they're going to be able to mess with. And I'm going to tie them into the Vegas Knights. I don't see the Vegas Knights falling apart in Game 7. I think they take a dominating lead early on, and I'm going to tie them up. So a 3-team parlay, going to get you better than 2-1 with some nice favorites. So I think I've taken a lot of the gambling out of the gambling for you with those 3 teams. So we'll see what happens with those tonight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right, guys, rapid fire. Let's finish the most interesting play of the day. Ross, you also teased us, Dell, you were teasing us. So why don't you finish up? Most interesting play of the day.
Yep. So for this game, my favorite play of the day today and my most interesting play for this White Sox versus Royals game, I got for the total over/under, I got it at a 9. I'm going under for the 9. So yesterday, a lot of runs. I think they scored 17 runs yesterday with pretty decent pitchers. They come out with a little bit of worse pitchers today. Low total. I think the Royals are like 13 and 22 for unders. 67% of the bets are on the over. I love this under here. My most interesting play, White Sox Royals under 9.
Chip, what do you got for us, Chip?
All right, I'm going to stay in baseball. And yesterday I gave you the Mets over the Yankees. Very, very fortunate to come from behind and win that game. I'm coming back with the Mets again. I'm playing the Mets again today against Philadelphia, and I'll tell you why. They're 8-3 at home. Philadelphia is under 500 on the road, although the Phillies have won 9 of their last 10 to get back into contention. But this Jake Arrieta, who was untouchable a number of years ago, won the Cy Young Award, is not the same anymore. He's 2-4 on the year. ZRA is up around over 4, I believe it is. For the Mets, the problem is they're starting Rick Porcello, and his ERA is 6. He's 1-4. He hasn't been that brilliant. He's had 2 decent starts, but this line at Pick'em with Porcello on the mound against Philadelphia's Arrieta, I'm going to take the Mets once again at home. We had them yesterday. I expect them to come back again. Mets are 8-3 against teams with winning records when they're playing at home. So that's my surprise play, or the most interesting play I have of the day. I'm using the Mets on top.
All right, that's my favorite play of the day too, because I'm a Mets fan. Let's go to Ross B.
All right, hold your nose on this game, guys. I like it stinks, but somebody's got to win. Texas at Seattle. The Texas Rangers, they've lost 14 of their last 17 games. They're 3-14 on the road. I'm sorry, they lost 14 of their last 17 games, and they're terrible on the road, 4-12. The Seattle Mariners quietly have won 7 of their last 10, guys. And a pitcher for Texas today, Kyle Cody, will be making his first Major League Baseball start ever. The price is right here. You're looking at a favorite of -130 in Seattle. I'm on the Mariners in this stinky, terrible game today. Somebody got to win. Might as well be Seattle -130.
Tony Gullidge, most interesting play of the day.
Okay, hit the 2 Major League Baseball best bets the past couple of days. So for the most interesting play, I like to try to keep winning streaks going. So let's go with it again. I picked out best value with the best starting pitcher that I like the situation for. It's going to be the Chicago Cubs, -140. Yu Darvish, I just noted a couple quick things here. Since the Cubs lost his first start of the season, but since then, they've won the last 6 in a row. His ERA, it's funny that Chip mentioned Cy Young. I think with a shortened season, and they might only get 12, 13 starts, Darvish has made 7. He's 6-1 with a 1.47 ERA and a whip right dead on 1. In his last 6 starts, he has given up no more than 1 run in any of them. I think they're giving you a bargain here. I think the most interesting play and the best play to put your money on here will be to take the Cubs based on the pitching of Yu Darvish.
All right, guys, thank you so much. All the cappers, Louis D, Tony G, Chip, Dell, and of course, Ross Benjamin. Special thanks to Eugene, our technical director and producer. Remember, if you don't play, you won't win. BettorCenter Live on LouisDiamond.com. Also, YouTube at Louis Diamond. Have a wonderful day. We'll catch you next time. That's tomorrow.
Good job, Brad.
Yeah, definitely good job, Brad. Brad does a good job.